Welcome to the Medieval 2 Total War OBG tournament. $200 prize pool, and they've already chosen the wrong map for game 1. It's meant to be the standard mound, but they've chosen the double mound. Oh well, this is meant to be map 2, but it looks like we're starting on map 1. Oh well, it doesn't really matter. And they haven't set the timer as well, have they? No. $200 prize pool, check out the link down below for the OBG Discord where you can take part in future events as well. Today we have Rumelia versus Donald. Rumelia, he's competed in some of my tournaments before, he knows what he's doing. Very, very skilled player. Donald I've never seen compete before. Did he actually? He might have done a Rome 2 event actually. I know there's a Donald that played Rome 2, it could possibly be the same guy. He's playing as France, and Rumelia is playing as Egypt here, and he even has the Naphatun unit as well. Interesting. This unit was almost banned, but I think we went against it in the end. We thought we should allow it. So yeah, best of 3. Let's see who's gonna win map 1, or technically map 2. As that's what we're starting on here. Balance power, fairly matched, and how is Rumelia going to kick this off? Interesting, he's going for a bit of a flank round this way, and a big heavy push here. Donald focused more on the centre, but he's not going to make it up here that fast. Rumelia already has the second layer of high ground, the double hill, and he's got his cavalry coming round on the flank. Yeah, he's got all of his archers up here, so these are going to get some really nice kills, I bet, early on. Let's take a look where these arrows are landing. Yeah, are they shooting at the religious fanatics? No, they're shooting at the heavy cavalry, which does make sense. And they're getting some fairly decent kills against armoured units. Yeah, that's good for them, I guess. Yeah, they're really taking advantage of the high ground here. They've got infantry behind them as support, they've got cavalry here as well. The Naphatun, meanwhile, the cavalry and some infantry are heading round this way. France has a lot to do here. They've got to retake the high ground back and deal with this flanking manoeuvre. They've been able to catch these guys on the side, so that's a good start for them, with the religious fanatics there. Very high attack, very low defence. So, quite a good unit actually for charging on the flank. Ooh, Egypt's being pushed off the high ground here by the heavy infantry, but the Saracens have formed into... Oh, there goes the Naphatun. What is it? Is it gunpowder, technically? I don't know what it is, technically speaking. Back there throwing it. It's got to be gunpowder, right? Gunpowder's technically banned in the tournament, but I think we allow Naphatun, if I remember the rules. Yeah, so they're in Stiltram formation. And the French are really struggling to push through this. Yeah, they can't break through it, and they're just getting hit by the Naphatun instead, and distracted, getting caught on the archers. Meanwhile, over here, it looks like the French cavalry got absolutely obliterated. Yeah, just wildly outnumbered here, fighting on all sides as well. Another French cav unit's gone, really not getting many kills. These Egyptian cav units are incredible right now. Getting so many kills, hardly any losses. They're going to take out another one here as well, hitting them on both sides. Taking so few losses here, getting lots of kills. The French general, I think that was, has died. So now their morale is about to collapse, and yeah. Rumelia, excellent player, very skilled. Donald, definitely less experienced, but, you know, he's putting up a good fight, all things considered. When you're against a top-tier player like Rumelia, it's very difficult to really be able to show what you can do. Rumelia has lost 15% of his troops, Donald has lost 33% of his, 34% now. Yeah, battle's definitely in favour of Rumelia, and with the death of the general as well, these units are just in a break. They don't even have the high ground right now, they're fighting on the flat bit against the Stiltram. Naphatun still coming in, and it's just causing a big rout on every single unit the moment they cross this smoke. This one's gonna go next to it, just a few hits on them, and they're gonna go. Meanwhile, the cavalry, they've got full free rein now to hit them in the back. Hitting the pikemen in the back, interesting. Yeah, very interesting there, but they still were able to break them because they're technically hitting from I think, multiple directions there. And with that, I think it's probably over. I think Rumelia has the win here. There's still a bit of time left. France does have some troops, so we'll see what they can do, but I think it's a little bit too late for them. Their final cav unit is about to get taken out. There we go. What they're charging with? They're charging with Swiss pikemen with their swords out. Against cavalry, it's not going to work for them, I don't think. Back here, they've got their aventurers, whatever they're called, the crossbowmen, but the cavalry come storming over the hill and engage them in melee. Yeah, it's definitely over for France. Rumelia's lost 27%, killed 71%. I think it's a clear victory. Well done, Rumelia. Well played there. What units are left here? Why is the battle still going? The final one's getting taken out. Swiss pikemen are now gone. What is possibly left? Clear Egyptian victory. Here we are. The final units are here. The crossbowmen still fighting to the end. They've still somehow got some morale. He's pulling his cavalry out to get a better charge in here. Just to finish the battle off once and for all. And with a break of that unit, that's it. Rumelia goes up 1-0 in this best of 3. Look at the kills there. Yeah, clear victory there by Rumelia. Heroic victory as well. Loads of kills on the cavalry. The Nafatun doing well. That was more of a morale hit unit. The Saracen militia not getting many kills, but I think it was more just to slow down his infantry to allow the Nafatun to do their work. And the Desert Archers, I expected a bit more from them, given they had the high ground, but that being said, they didn't hold it for that long. And this map it's not much of a missile-heavy map, in my opinion. Alright then, on to map 2. Or technically, map 1. Oh wow, I did not expect this. We've got the Aztecs. Aztecs versus the Hungarians. Not the most historical battle we'll ever see. Well, first of all, I think the rule is that your general has to be a heavy cav unit. The Aztecs don't have cavalry, which means technically Rumelia here is breaking the rules, technically speaking. But I'll let it pass. It's fine, it's fine. It happens. And it's not like a super strict rule, really. Or rather, if both players end up okay with it, I'm fine for them to make up their own little rules and their own gentlemen's agreements. I'm assuming both players are fine here. The battle's already kicking off, so Aztecs, they don't have any cavalry, and they pretty much lack counter-cavalry as well, but they've got good infantry, and I think they get a good morale hit. The Hungarians coming in here with a cavalry charge from their missile cavalry. Getting some early hits in there and then having to pull out. Yeah, interesting. I did not expect this army from Rumelia here. And Donald has gone for Hungary. Again, not a typical choice, I don't think, in these events. We've got the spearmen holding the front, then they've got their crossbows, swordsmen, and then axemen with the general in the back. They haven't set the time again. Ah well. Rumelia's up 1-0. Can they take this to 1-all? And then to a game 3, and I hope so, because I do really want to show off that game 3 map. I do like the game 3 map. So hopefully we get to see it in at least one of these events. Like the archers for the Aztecs are moving forwards, but you gotta deal with the cav. Always keep your eye on the cavalry, because you've got nothing to really counter it. Do they have spearmen anywhere? I've got one spearman unit that I can see. Apart from that though, it's going to be really difficult for them. And the Hungarians are moving on the flank now. Interesting, they're not using the map for its purpose at all. Not using the mound in the middle for the high ground. Rumelia's just going for it here. Just in a charging, and I bet he's going to break through this front line very easily. And he's going to smash through the crossbowmen as well. And he might even just rampage through the third line. Okay, we'll see the cavalry engage here. Not getting the best charge. Actually, I take that back. Getting an epic charge Look at the amount of kills there, and then pulling out to safety. Yeah, it's the Aztecs. They're going to have such infantry domination here, they're going to cut straight through these spearmen. The crossbows and swordsmen might slow them down a bit, but these spearmen are not going to hold, and you can see them cutting them down here. Yeah, the spearmen, they cannot do anything. The swordsmen might put up a better fight. The Hungarians already breaking. Could this actually trigger a mass rout here? Unlikely with the general being here, but that would be good to see. That's what Rumelia needs. He needs to just dominate on the infantry side of a battle, and then hope he's got enough left to take out the cavalry. Look at this little flanking manoeuvre here. Just completely wiped out this entire front. The Aztecs are rampaging through. But they are starting to take a lot of hits though now. They are starting to get cut down. The swordsmen definitely putting up a much better fight than the spearmen did. Let's see the stats here. Both fairly even, both losing about 35% of their army. But it's the cavalry that I think is going to be the big decider here. Heavy cavalry charges that you can't do anything to stop. And I think that might potentially win it for Donald. Aztecs, an odd choice. Apparently, according to Rumelia, he just wanted to put on a show for us all. That's why he chose Aztecs. And I'm not going to complain, I like it. I like all the different colours that we've got. But that being said, the Aztecs could still get the win here, even with the lack of cavalry. And I love the soundtrack as well. Please players, pick Aztecs more often. Gives us that epic soundtrack in the background. Yeah, these guys are done a break now. They're about to get hit on the flank. So they're about to go. More Aztecs coming through, but the Aztecs are starting to thin a bit with their numbers. And the heavy cavalry just getting loads of kills in there. There's nothing the Aztecs can do against those lances. They get some kills on the charge, but they lose so many men, it's just not worth it. You really need to catch Donald off guard, and now his Hungarian infantry's starting to come back to the field as well. The crossbowmen, the axemen, they're all coming back. It's going to be a close one. Balance of power favours Donald. Rumelia's lost at 71%, Donald has lost 62%, and it's mostly the cavalry that's going to win it for Donald here. So, such a valuable unit here for the Hungarians. I've got their missile cav as well, continuing to get kills. This poor one guy here is being completely forgotten about. Donald doesn't even need to shoot him. Oh, the Hungarian general is dead though. So with the big morale hits that the Hungarians keep taking, this could really start to fall apart here for the Hungarians. Let's take a look. Yeah, we just see routing Hungarians everywhere. Their infantry are terrible, they cannot stand up on their own 2 feet, but the cavalry is very strong. I cannot emphasise that enough. Rumelia's lost 80% down to his final 20%. Donald only lost 68%, got 32% left. But I don't think that counts routing troops, so it's probably actually more like even. It's going to be a close battle either way. And the Hungarian cavalry are starting to retreat as well. Yeah, this could be a really close battle then. Both sides still have the potential to win this. I've got spearmen here for the Aztecs. That's going to be difficult for the Hungarians to take out. If I was Hungary, I'd get my missile cav shooting on them. Yeah, and you can see all the dead cavalry around them. That's what Rumelia needed more of, more spearmen. Something, anything at all to try and counter the cavalry. His infantry's great. His infantry cuts straight through, but he lacks the spearmen. And you can definitely tell the troops are starting to thin now. He's down to the final 12% of his army. Whereas Donald still has a quarter left, and it's pretty much the stronger quarter as well, the heavy cavalry that have remained. Still, it's going to be such a close one. The dismounted feudal knights charging in here, trying to take out the spearmen. This is what Donald needs. Get your swordsmen fighting these guys. This is your final threat, really. And maybe kill the Aztec general when possible. I think now they could justify a charge into the backs of these. I think now it could work for them, just to break the unit and to get those spearmen out of here. They've got the cavalry around to do it, and here we go. They're charging in. The spearmen trying to turn around, trying to deal with it. He actually, I think he did enough with those spearmen. Well done, Rumelia. He turned around, got his spears up there, and really lessened the impact of that charge. Again, I think it's too little too late now. I think Rumelia has lost, but I think that play went really well for him, all things considered. But that still is pretty much the end of that spearman unit, even if they did get a lot of kills. And then there's the missile cavalry to deal with as well. There's still a lot of infantry here, but balance of power so heavily favours Donald right now. 95% of the Aztecs are gone. And they're all blobbed up here in this corner. The Aztec general dies, and with that and a few cavalry charges, I think it's pretty much it. There's no coming back from this for the Aztecs. There we go, they're starting to break now, they're starting to rout, and with that, Donald got a win, making it 1-1, meaning we finally, at last, get to see map 3. I'm so excited to see how this map 3 plays. It's called Trench, and again, it takes the same map style as we've seen before. Look at the kills there for Hungary. Anything standing out? The Jaguar warriors got a lot of kills, even caught a lot of prisoners as well. That's about it though. Interesting, Rumelia, despite losing, captured more enemies. That you rarely see. That was just the morale power of the Aztecs there alone. And look how many more Aztecs and Hungarians. So he had the numbers but just had nothing to deal with that cavalry. And it was technically a rule break as well because you need a heavy cav general, but whatever. And technically you should set the battle timer as well, but again, whatever. We'll let those little ones pass. I'm assuming both players are okay with it. Anyway, on to map 3. Welcome to Trench. Rumelia is now playing as the HRE, picked a normal faction this time. Again, forgot to set battle timer, but whatever. And I believe this is going to be Venice for Donald here. Yes, so the thing with Trench is, whoops, there we go. It's got this big dip down here. Now, I don't know how players are going to choose to fight this map. It's going to be an interesting one. Because you don't want to be in the trench having to push up if you've got to fight infantry, because then you're pushing up against the high ground. You don't want to be stuck in here as well getting shot at by the arrows. I'm so curious to see how this trench plays out in this battle, and it's going to evolve throughout the tournament as well, as players start to build their own sense of a meta, a certain way to play. So I'm curious to see how it evolves throughout the tournament. By the finals, we're going to be seeing completely different play styles, I bet. And Asta's done such a good job with these maps. Well done to him. Okay, it's a little unbalanced here. That should have been evened out a bit more, but oh well. They're not going to be perfect. Are they fine on this side? Yeah, it's fine everywhere else. Just there's a little bit of a dip here. Where was it? Yeah, here. Oh well, it should be fine. It's not going to be too much of an issue. So the HRE, they're bringing their Teutonic cavalry on the flank again, and ooh, a lot of Templar Knights already been taken out very early on by the crossbows here. That's some good early shots, and he's got pikeman support to cover himself as well. Sends in the cavalry, starts to kill a load of the peasant crossbowmen. Hits the Venetian heavy infantry as well. Again, another cav charge comes this way, just absolutely obliterating that unit there. Wiped out an entire dismounted feudal knight unit with one charge, taking 0 losses. That was incredible. What an epic charge there. Like, one of their Teutonic Knight units got cut down there by the Templars. They stayed a little too long in the action. And yeah, now the cavalry's pulling out. They've had their early shock charges, but now it's time to pull back a bit and regroup. The Templars coming in, but they've got to be careful of the pikemen here. Interesting that they're not really using the trench. I imagined it more as one army here, and they both face each other off a bit. But no, they're focusing more on the sides. I might have to change the maps a little bit in future events. Maybe make them a bit more circular or something. Like a donut. A donut shaped map. That might help fix this. Oh no. Donald, you don't want to do this. There's pikes here. You don't want to do this. Can we get it in slow motion? Ah, you know what, normal speed's fine. They're all gonna get cut down. No, don't throw your Templar Knights in like that. No, don't bring a second one in as well. Oh, they got cut down. We got some kills on the crossbows due to the length of their lances. They're getting cut down there as well. But overall, they lost so many. You can see the line of red. And then this one here, this unit, it got hit in the flank as well. The HRE had an epic charge down this hill. They trapped them in the trench. This is what I mean, you don't want to be stuck in the trench here. And they're going to get completely obliterated yet. Those Templars are done. That's another unit routed. And with the loss of the Venetian cavalry, I think it's probably over for Donald. He's still got some cav units dotted round, but that was too much of a loss. Balance of power heavily in favour of Rumelia. Rumelia's only lost 12% of his army. Donald has lost 45%. It's all falling apart here. And another cav charge in the back. That's going to break those Templars, I'm sure. They're already shaken, they're wavering. Okay, the HRE cav pulling out, but more cav coming in. Charging the spearmen now, that's how confident he is. And it's all just falling apart here for Venice. They're getting mass routed. And then their general units here as well, about to get caught, probably cut down the general at some point. I think the general's safe for now for Venice, but everything else is fleeing. And now this just gives Rumelia the perfect chance to really get set up on the high ground here, to have full domination over it. Still, there's a lot of time left. I don't know where that time's going to come from, because this battle is pretty much over at this point. Again, I forgot to set the timer. It's fine though, it doesn't matter. But I've got to point it out because you never know. One battle could always just have someone corner camping and then it never ends. I'm sure it's fine though. Yeah, troops again, they're stuck in the trench, not where you want to be. The Venetian general's dead. So yeah, these guys have done a break very easily now. They're about to get flanked as well. They're stuck in the trench. They're fighting, in my opinion, better troops at this point. Actually, they're fighting crossbowmen in melee, I take that back. But still, without the general, with the flank coming in, they're done a break. What does Venice have left then? They've got the armoured sergeants here. Yeah, I was about to say, they're not gonna last. Is it this unit over here? Ooh, we've got some missile cavalry. The mounted crossbowmen. Interesting choice. That's probably why this battle goes on for so long. These are just gonna run around in circles, aren't they? Refusing to fight. Yeah, literally every other unit has broken for Venice. Rumelia lost 24%, he's killed 86% and counting, as he's just gonna run everybody down now. This battle has been a slaughter, a clear victory. Meanwhile, Donald's mounted crossbowmen, can they get the win? Can they kill another 1,000 men? I highly doubt it. I think it's over. Well done, Rumelia, though, going up 2-1 in this tournament here and moving through. Donald, well played. Still, Donald, he followed the rules, he played his matches on time, so he will be entered into the prize draw, where we give a random $20 to a player who followed all the rules and, you know, played all the games on time. So he will be entered into that random draw. And it's more just to give players who are usually a bit less experienced in the game, who might think, I don't really want to take part because I know I'm going to lose. It gives them a reason to still actually take part, give it a go and try and have some fun, if you know there's a random chance that you could still win something. So Donald will be entered into that draw. And well done, Rumelia here, getting the win. Moving through to fight in the next battle against a new opponent in this single elimination. And of course, thank you again to OBG Tony for sponsoring this tournament. Check out the Discord down below and you could also take part in future events like this. $200 prize pool here in total. Lots of money to win, and hopefully, if this is a success, Hopefully more tournaments in future as well. Ah, come on, Donald. Just give it up at this point. You're not going to win it. It's over. Give in. You might kill that one cav unit, but no, it's over. Well played to both of them, though. Yeah, that was a lot of kills. I think the main big winning move here was the loss of the Venetian cavalry when they charged the pikemen and then the other one got hit in the back. That just forced it all to crumble away. The Teutonic Knights getting a load of kills there, getting a lot of captures as well. Then all the dismounted Imperial Knights, not getting many kills, but they didn't have to get many kills. A lot of these barely saw action, they were just in the reserve. And the Pike Militia of course did excellent as well, getting a lot of cav kills. And then yeah, the crossbows did well as well. Well done Rumelia, he's done a move through. Thank you for watching, and for now, goodbye.